Hello, I'm Neeraj, CTO and co-founder of Bluzelle. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the CURIE public testnet. This network is open to all developers. It uses a test token called BNT that is required to pay for services on the testnet. We have made test BNT tokens available freely to the public. Developers can start writing applications on top of our revamped platform that now uses the Tendermint BFT consensus engine, as well as the popular Cosmos SDK. In this video, I'm going to run you through 6 steps to familiarize developers with CURIE's testnet. We'll start with installing the BLZ client to your local machine. Then we'll get some BNT tokens to use on the Bluzelle testnet. Then we're going to use BLZ CLI for account management, using the database, etc. Then we're going to install Bluzelle JS, also known as BLZ JS library, to your local machine. Then we'll use the CRUD JS script to get familiarized with Bluzelle JS, and then we'll finally write a quick little hello world program to use Bluzelle JS. So what I've done here is I've actually got a fresh new Linux Ubuntu 18.04 installation on AWS, and I'm going to go into it. As you can see, I've never logged into it before. So I'm going to start with updating that machine. So one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm going to do sudo apt-get update, just update the entire repositories. And then we'll get started with the first step, which is installing the Bluzelle client, or BLZ CLI. So the first thing we need to do after we update the OS is we need to install some of the build essential tools and JQ. These will help us later. And then we're going to move right into, and now, by the way, if you're on a Mac or any other operating system, we kind of leave it as an exercise to you to find the right commands to do this. We're really just going to do an Ubuntu demo here. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to download Golang. So Golang is the programming language environment that we've built our product in, and we're going to install it. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our paths. So I've already got all these, and I'm pulling these right from our directions that you can follow along with. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create all the folders. So we got the bin package folder. And we're going to go to the Bluzelle folder, and we're going to clone our repository. Now, one thing to keep in mind, we'll go to the Curium folder. The Curium is basically our project name for what's called the CURIE project. And one thing we need to do, which I've documented here, is we want to check out this particular git hash. So we've already done it. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually build the product. So it actually builds reasonably fast. Let's just make install. And there you go. It's already building. Golang actually builds products pretty fast. And once it's built, we'll do a quick little test to just make sure the client's actually running properly. So let's see here. So the CLI interacts with our existing chain that's running on an endpoint that I will show you in a moment. So let's do BLZ CLI version -- long. And you can see it's built right there. And it's using Cosmos SDK 37.4, Golang version, all that good stuff. Okay, great. So the next thing we need to do now, going back to our directions, now we've installed and built CLI, is we need to get some BNT tokens, because this network actually has token economics. You have to have tokens. When we launch our Bluzelle net, you're going to have to actually convert BLZ to BNT tokens, which we'll have service for. But for now, we're going to give you access to free BNT tokens. So what you need to do is you need to get BNT tokens. And what we've done is I've created a wallet that already has a bunch of BNT tokens in it. So you just have to really import it. So this command here imports a wallet, and just put a local password in. This is whatever you want it to be. And there's what's called a mnemonic, which you're probably familiar with if you've used crypto. So just paste in the mnemonic that's in our blog. And you should have this address that ends in L6C or Lima 6 Charlie. If you've got that, you're good to go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to configure our client. And that just says use the Bluzelle chain, JSON output, indentation, and trust the node. Don't worry too much about the meaning of trust node. We'll explain that in a later video. Now let's just check the balance. How many BNT tokens we have in our account? There you go, right there. You can see that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a list of all the keys that are in that in a namespace. So now what is a namespace? It's just a database name. So if you've ever used databases, you create a new database, it's got a namespace, that's what the namespace is. We're going to call it demo C. And, oh, demo C is already used. Okay, let's call it demo D. Okay, so there's nothing in demo D. It's a new namespace, empty, no keys. So we're going to try to read a value from it. Now, as you can imagine, why would I do that if I have nothing in it? Well, it should return nothing, right? So if I try to read a value from demo D here, so I'll put in demo-D, and let's use my name as the key. It's going to come back and say it couldn't read the key. Obviously, it's not there because there's nothing in it yet. So the next thing we're going to do, which is really the fun thing here, is we're going to spend some tokens. So anytime you do any sort of transaction, which actually registers a transaction on our chain, you have to pay for it. So what you got to do is you got to provide a gas price. Just like on Ethereum or any kind of network that uses gas, you got to pay for it. So we're paying 0.01 BNT out of our wallet per gas unit, and we're going to do a create. So this is just a standard part of create, read, update, delete paradigm. We're going to use demo C as our namespace. We're going to use Neeraj as the key. And we'll put in my last name, Murarka, as the value. And there you go. And that hopefully succeeded. And what we'll do now is let's go back and use one of those previous commands. Let's see what's actually in. Oh, did I use the wrong? Oh, I used the wrong namespace. Sorry about that. So we're going to actually insert this into demo D, not demo C. Got to remember to use demo D here. So demo D, yes. Okay. Now let's check what are all the keys in demo D. Now you can see, boom, it was already there. It's already created. So the value that I just added has already been put into demo D, and it's the key Neeraj. Now let's check what the value is. We can read that back by using the read command here. We're going to go into namespace demo D and read back the key for Neeraj, and it's Murarka. And that's really it, folks. That's the demo for BLZ CLI. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of how the CLI works. The next thing we're going to do is jump right into the Bluzelle JS library, or the JavaScript library. So let's go to our root home folder, git clone, the repo for that. We'll get into the repository. Now, a quick little few housekeeping things we need to do is we need to install npm and Node.js. So we're going to do that right now. Hopefully it happens pretty quick. And then we're going to have to do an npm install. So I'll talk about real quick what we're going to do here. So Bluzelle JS is our JavaScript library. It's standalone. It does not require the client that I just showed you. It totally is standalone, has its own config file. And you can use it to write software, write apps that talk to our library, to use our database. So it still uses cryptoeconomics. You still have to have tokens. And this is really going to be the go-to library that you use if you want to develop software with Bluzelle. We will be adding other libraries like Python, C#, Rust, et cetera, over time. But our shipping first library will be a JavaScript library. So currently I'm just doing an npm install to install all the dependencies, and then we'll jump right into CRUD.js. So CRUD.js is a handy little helper tool that we've included that allows you to interact with the Bluzelle Swarm, our testnet blockchain, on the command line. So I'm already in the samples folder. Now what we need to do is we need to put our credentials in, and we've already got a sample file for config. So I'm just going to take that config file sample, copy it to a new file called BLZ config. I'm going to go in here. Now we've got to do a few things here. We need to change the address. This is the address we imported, so let's just take that and copy and paste in the previous one that we have from when we imported it. And that would be this guy right here, ends in 6C. The other thing we need to do is we need to add in the mnemonic. And remember, this has nothing to do with the CLI. So we are using a completely different environment here with Bluzelle JS. And of course, that's why we have to import the credentials here as well. The credentials imported previously are not visible here. Now, the last thing we need to do is we need to also set the endpoint, which is something that I have not talked about yet. So our Bluzelle testnet is currently running globally. We have 4 net nodes all over. One of the nodes is in Oregon, United States. We've got another one in Singapore, another one in Frankfurt, and one in Mumbai, in India. So this URL is a round-robin URL. It's for the testnet.public.bluzelle.com, and it'll allow you to access our testnet. There you go. So let's just run a quick command to see Node.js's help, and you can see that right there. Those are the different CRUD commands you use. These are the transactions. These are queries. Transactions go on the blockchain. They cost tokens. Queries are reads. They are free. So let's do a query keys on demo-d. Let's see what keys are in there. Same namespace as before, and you should see Neeraj. Let's do the same thing with Neeraj. Let's do a read back for Neeraj. Oh, I got to put in the namespace first. Demo-d Neeraj. And there you go. And let's create a new value. So we're going to do create, and we're going to do demo-d. We'll put in Clark. I'm a big Superman fan. And let's put in Kent. Now, this is going to take a few moments longer because it's actually writing something. Now, that was still pretty fast, but it actually transacted across the globe. All 4 nodes voted, and they agreed that was a valid transaction, and now Clark Kent is in the database. Now, if I get the keys back, I will see Clark and Neeraj. If I read that value back, I will see Clark Kent. There you go. So that's really Node.js's our CRUD.js library or helper tool in a nutshell. The last thing I'm going to do here is a hello world program because that's obviously necessary. I'm going to put in hello.js. I'm going to paste this in. This is actually in our blog. So we're going to just change a few values here. We're going to put in demo-d. And let's go in and put in a new value. We'll put in Bruce. And as you can probably imagine, the next value is going to be Wayne. And we're going to try to read back that value after it was created. So what are we doing? We're connecting in, creating Bruce, key, value, Wayne, and then we're reading back the key Bruce, and hopefully, actually I should read back Bruce, not Wayne. And we should get back Wayne. So let's run hello.js. And we should see the word Wayne come back. Success and Wayne. Now, if I run this a second time, interestingly, it should fail because we tried to create the value a second time. So let's see what happens. And there you go. So that's about it. I really hope that this video was both exciting and useful to you. We'll be releasing regular videos and updates to you in coming weeks and months in the lead up to our eventual 1.0 release of the product. Thank you.